Okay, guys, good morning. So, my name is Samir, and I'll be a faculty for this ADB. And when it comes to my experience, I'll just walk you through. I have around 10 plus years of experience in IT and on the clouds since the past 3 years. I'm working onto this cloud technologies. Okay, that's it. Working in some corporate. Okay, so guys, let us start with this now. So what is, before we go ahead, let us see. And guys, I want everyone to just have an interaction. So I want the session to be an interactive rather than me talking on a side. I want everyone to interact with me. Okay, guys. So let us start with this. So let us say here, Azure Data Engineering. What is Azure Data Engineering? Yes, guys. Everyone, I'm audible. Please.
It's audible, Samir. Audible.
Okay, so now this is what is Azure Data Engineering. So basically, Azure Data Engineering is pack is a packed into the is a packed in the form of services. In the form of what is that? Services. Azure Data Engineering is packed in the form of what? Services. The following are the various services provided for various operations in the that is nothing but in the Azure Data Engineering. So the following are the services. Let us see what is a first one. What is it? You have it. We have the first one here as a Azure is Azure Databricks. Azure Databricks. And then we have the next one after this. We have the Azure Data Factory. And apart from this, we have the next service that is called as Azure Synapse. Azure Synapse. And next one after this, many services are there, but I'm listing few of them. Okay, so we have the Azure Artificial Intelligence, AI, or else we can also refer it as a ML, that is called as machine learning. Okay, so these all are the services packed into this Azure Data Engineering. That means all end-to-end solutions for the data. That is nothing but data engineering means end-to-end solutions for the data. So now, guys, what is this Azure Data that is Azure Databricks is used, and what is the purpose of it? So, guys, this service called Azure Databricks is provided by the Microsoft to perform the job of ETL. So, guys, what is this ETL? Where ETL stands for what? Extraction, transformation, okay, guys, extraction, transformation, and loading. So the Azure Databricks is provided for Azure Databricks is a service provided by the Microsoft within the Azure Data Engineering for the purpose of extraction, transformation, and loading. Guys, this extraction, transformation, and loading, what it is? Let us try to understand this first. So guys, this extraction, transformation, and loading is nothing but it is a process. It is a process where, guys, it is a process where data is summarized. Where the data is summarized. Where the data is summarized. Where the data is, what is that? Summarized. And this summarized data is used for decision making. these or this summarized data is used for what? Decision making. So whereas what is this process of extraction, transformation, and loading? So this process of, guys, extraction, transformation, and loading, this process of extraction, transformation, and loading basically consists of, requires the following. What is that? Source, that means what? Source, and the next one it requires as a target. Source and the target. Now guys, what is a source and what is a target? So basically, between the source and the target, this process of ETL is applied always. Okay, irrespective of whatever the thing you service we use it. Generally, I'm talking about the ETL. That is nothing but ETL is the process where the data, guys, ETL is the process. ETL is a process where the data is summarized. Okay, so what is the source? What is this target? Let us try to understand this, guys. Source is a place where we get the raw data. Source is a place where we get, what is that, guys? Raw data. And whereas this raw data is extracted as per the requirement in the process of extraction. This raw data is extracted as per the requirement in the process of extraction. And once the extraction means what? Picking up the data. Whereas after this process of extraction is done, the process of transformation is implemented. Transformation is the actual process where the data is converted into the required format by the customer. And once the transformation is done, guys, on the data or applied on the data is finally prepared and it is loaded. And it is what? Loaded. And where it is loaded? It is loaded into the target, that is called as a destination. Getting my point? Now guys, this is a bit technical. I want to simplify it and explain it to you. Okay, what exactly? Now guys, all of you are you able to hear my voice? Everyone, please come out.
Yeah.
So now guys, suppose you go to a supermarket to buy a vegetables. Tell me now, what are the different, that is, how many vegetables will be there in a supermarket? Let us say Reliance Fresh. You have been to the Reliance Fresh to buy the fresh vegetables. Now tell me, how many vegetables you will be having? Many, almost all vegetables you will have it. Am I right? So now guys, tell me a answer now. Do you purchase all the vegetables or you will purchase only those vegetables which is required for you? Yes, my question is that you have been to a supermarket. Yes, guys, you have been to supermarket and that is more supermarket, or you have been to a that is Reliance Fresh, where you can find many vegetables. Are you going to purchase all the vegetables or some of the vegetables?
Only required vegetables will purchase.
Required. That means before leaving, you will decide what curry has to be cooked. Based on that curry, you're going to buy the vegetables. Am I right? Some 2-3 vegetables. So now what you're doing is, suppose you have been to a supermarket and picked up some 5 vegetables out of some 100 vegetables are there. Different varieties of 100 vegetables are there. Out of those 100 vegetables, you are purchasing only 5 vegetables. Why those 5? Because that is required for the cooking process. You want to cook only those 5. Am I right? You're picked up. What you will do, once you pick up, you'll put it into your basket, bill it off, everything is done. Now you will come home. Now tell me, what is the form of vegetables now?
It's raw form.
Yes, exactly. Very good. So the vegetables in the raw form. So now guys, what you will do, you have to eat those vegetables. as we are human, so we require to eat those vegetables, but we need to cook it. Am I right? Cook it. So what you will do, you will cut the vegetables, chop the vegetables, everything you will do it, and then you will put it on a, that is nothing but you put it on a stove, and ultimately from the raw farm, all the 5 vegetables you will pour it in one that is nothing but bowl, and you will cook it. That means you're converting this raw form of vegetables into cooked format. Am I right or not? Are you changing the form of vegetables or not for eating purpose? Yes, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, you have converted. Ultimately, the vegetables are cooked. The vegetables are cooked. Now the curry is ready. So that means what you're doing, you have bought the raw vegetables. You have first of all picked up the vegetables. You have been to the supermarket and picked up the vegetables. And once you have picked up the vegetables, what you are doing, you bought them home and cut it off and chopped it. And once the chopping, everything is done, you are changing the form of those vegetables from the raw form to what is that? Cooked form, as per our requirement. Ultimately, once the vegetables is cooked and ready, then what you will do? Finally, you will eat. That is nothing but called as what? Loading. Same way, guys, picking up the vegetables. Picking up the vegetables from multiple 100 vegetables are there, but you are picking up only 5 vegetables. And those vegetables, picking up the process of vegetables from the supermarket is called as what? Extraction. It is called as the process of what? Extraction. Whereas the extraction is done, then what you are doing? Transform. That means you're getting them home and chopping them, cutting them, and putting them into the bowl to cook, and ultimately cooking those vegetables. That means you are converting the raw vegetables to what is that? Cooked format in the form of a curry. Am I right or not? Ultimately, once that is called as a process of what? Cooking is the process of transforming. Cooking is the process of what? Transforming. Ultimately, once the transformation is done, finally your destination is what? Your destination is the curry. So curry, you will eat it. That's it. That is nothing but finally the process of loading is nothing but cooking. That's nothing but eating the same. So hence, this is actually you have the process in what? Extraction, transformation, and loading. That's it, guys. Nothing else. There is no technicality. There is no something is, where you need to worry about how the things will move on. All these things, you need not worry about this. Simply extraction, transformation, and loading is the process. Extraction, transformation, and loading is the process of converting the picking up the required data, and transforming the data as per the requirement, and ultimately transformed data, you will load it into the target. Okay. So guys, is it clear for everyone what is ETL actually? Yes, guys, I want an answer, ma, please. Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. So before we see some examples on how actually this process has taken place, let us try to understand few more things here, then we'll come back to this. Let us try to understand first of all what is a cloud, what is a clouds, and what is an on-premises. Then we'll come back to this. Okay, so first of all, let us try to understand what is cloud. So now guys, because what is it you have it? Azure data engineering is a cloud-based engineering, cloud-based data engineering. Am I right? So now guys, I wanted to explain you, or let us try to understand first of all, guys, what is a clouds and what is an on-premises. Let us try to understand first of all what is a cloud basically. Okay, so guys, when it comes to this cloud, okay, just forget about this cloud. I'll just give you an example for this. Now guys, all of you are using the mobile phones. Am I right? All of you are using the mobile phones or not, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, I want a reply from every one of you. Please, guys, try to respond. Yes, are you using the mobile phone or not?
Yes, we are. Yeah.
So now every one of us is using the mobile phone. Now guys, when it comes to this mobile phone, you in the mobile phone, we have some memory. Will it be there memory or not?
Yes.
Every mobile has some memory or not?
Yeah.
So now, what are the types of memories you will have in your mobile phone? Can you tell me? Yes, guys.
Mobile SD memory.
Yes, mobile internal memory and scan disk memory. That means you will have the memories in a mobile phone. You will have the memory in the mobile phone, such as what is that? SD card memory. So I'm writing it here. In mobile, you will have the memory. So that memory is called as mobile inbuilt memory. Am I right? With every default you purchase a mobile phone, you will get mobile memory as a free. Am I right? Mobile memory as free. Apart from the mobile memory, guys, you will also have you will also have, guys, you will also have a memory that is called as SD card memory. What is my SD card memory, guys? SD card memory is nothing but scan disk card memory. That means, suppose every mobile you are getting it with a 16 GB internal storage memory. That means this 16 GB, guys, this 16 GB is a default memory. That means in your mobile phone, you can store up to 16 GB memory. Whereas if you require to store more memory rather than thus, you want to store one more, that is nothing but 32 GB of memory you wanted to store it. For that, what we do, we buy an external SD card and we will just put it in your mobile phone. Okay, put it in your mobile phone, and from that point onwards, you can use this memory of 32. So now tell me, totally what is the amount of memory you have it in your mobile phone now? 32 plus 16. Guys, tell me now. 32 plus 16 means what? Guys,
48
32.
GB.
Huh?
48 GB.
Very good. So 48 GB memory. Totally, you can store up to 48 GB memory now in your mobile phone along with SD card. Now, the question is that now the further I have some more videos and photos, etc., which is amounting to around 100 GB. 100 GB. Let us assume amounting to around 500 GB. Now tell me, how do you store this 500 GB memory? You already utilize the 32 GB, you already utilize the 16 GB memory. You have to store more 500 GB memory is required now. So now tell me, guys, what is the way you adopt it? Just think generally, because we do it in the daily basis, this kind of job. Tell me now.
OneDrive or Google Drive will put.
Very good, very good. So that means you will take the support of a Google Drive. Am I right? Google Drive. But the problem is that Google is also providing you by default 15 GB as a memory. Am I right? Huh? 15 GB of the memory by default Google is providing to you. But now you have to store 15 GB or 500 GB, guys? 500 GB. So now what you have to do, tell me now. Tell me, guys. Yeah, please. Guys, please tell me, ma. Did you get my question? What I mean to tell you? If you get the question, just simply say yes, or else I'll repeat the question once again. My question is that, I'll repeat the question once again. My question is that now, my mobile memory already has 16 GB memory, and SD card, I have installed it. I've put some SD card and it has the 32 GB memory. Totally both the memories amounting to 48 GB, but I have some more 500 GB memory to be stored. So for that, I took the support of Google Drive, and Google Drive is providing only 15 GB memory. What is the alternative for me now?
External hard disk.
Huh?
External hard disk.
External hard disk, that is fine. Okay, but I want the data. Okay, no problem. One more way is that you can ask the Google. That is fine, that is very good. Okay, but here the thing is that you can ask the Google to increase the size. That means from 15 GB I want 500 GB. So Google is providing Google will provide you 500 GB of memory Free of cost, or they will charge something for it?
They will charge something.
They will charge. That means after 15 GB, even if you store 0.1 MB also, okay, then it is going to charge you. So you can buy the space on the Google Drive by paying some cost. Now, guys, totally, I bought it. I bought this one also. Everything is done now. Totally, the amount of memory. What is that amount of memory I have? 548 GB memory. Totally, I have it now. Totally, how much memory I have it? 548 GB. That means 48 GB in my mobile phone and 500 on my Google Drive. Now, one fine day, I lost my mobile phone. One fine day, I lost my mobile phone, guys. That is my query. Now, my query is that when I lose my mobile phone, so I could not able to trace it off. Now, the question is that I bought a new mobile phone. I have to buy a new mobile phone. Hence, I bought the new mobile phone. Now, once you bought a new mobile phone, guys, please tell me, can you recollect this 48 GB? Can you recollect this 500 GB memory or not?
500 GB is possible. 48 GB is not possible.
Yes, exactly. Very good. So we can say that 500 GB, you can recollect it by just using the synchronize option. You can just log in with your mail ID, enter the password, and in the same way, you can recollect it. But what about the 48 GB? The 48 GB memory is lost with the mobile phone because this memory is called as physical memory. Am I right? This memory is called as what? Physical memory. Physical memory. So hence I cannot recollect it. Whereas the memory or the data which is stored on the Google Drive can be recollected. So we can say that the Google Drive, we can call it as a cloud. Am I right, guys, everyone? Google memory is called as what? Cloud memory. Google memory is called as what is that, guys? Cloud memory, cloud data memory. It is called as what? Cloud data memory. Cloud data memory. Whereas the physical memory of your mobile phone, we can refer it as what? On-premises memory. Am I right, guys? I can refer it as what? On-premises. So now tell me, what is the drawback, guys? Now tell me, what is the drawback you have? What is the drawback you have between on-premises memory and cloud memory? On-premises memory, once you lose your mobile phone, you cannot recollect it. But the same can be recollected using the cloud. Am I right or not? So now this is the drawback. You have it in the on-premises data. So now, guys, just for 548 GB, which is required for us, now what we have done, we took the support of the cloud rather than taking the support of the mobile phone. So in the same way, what you have done, tell me now, what you have done? That means you have moved physically, guys. You have moved physically from the cloud, from the physical mobile phone memory to what is that? Cloud memory. That is called as Google Drive memory. Am I right or not? So nowadays, every one of us storing the data in mobile phone inbuilt memory, or we are storing it data into the Google Drive, guys? Tell me now. Huh?
Google Drive.
Most of us, every time, we will store the data in the Google Drive. Am I right, everyone? So why do you store the data in the Google Drive? Tell me now.
Can recover.
Yes, can recover it. Suppose tomorrow you have traveled to other country, suppose United States of America, and did not take your mobile phone now. Now what happened is, as you did not take your mobile phone and you are there finally into this some United States of America. So can you get this Google Drive memory resaved to your mobile phone in even after reaching the USA? Tell me now, guys.
Yeah.
Of course, that means the access is possible even irrespective of the location. So we can say that we can access this data which is stored in the Google Drive from anywhere in the world. Am I right? From anywhere in the world without worrying about the physical location where my data is stored. The same way, guys, tell me now, actually Google Drive is stored where? The Google Drive stores the data into the cloud environment. Into what is that? Cloud environment. So cloud environment is what? Ultimately, cloud environment is nothing but ultimately it stores the data physically into the data centers. So every cloud provider has the data centers. And now in these data centers, the entire physical data will be stored. In this data centers, the physical data will be stored. Am I right, guys, everyone? Okay. Somebody just put it yourself in mute mode. I think there is no issues from my end. Yeah, guys. Okay, now fine now. So now I think the voice is background voice is not there. It's fine now. Okay, guys. There is no disturbance now, I think, from the background. Please say yes.
Yeah, it's fine now.
So now, guys, now in the same way, guys, here you have a cloud and on-premises. Cloud means what? Cloud is nothing but storing the data onto the Google Drive is a cloud environment. And now, guys, on-premises is nothing but storing the data into your mobile phone physical memory. Mobile phone memory. Mobile phone memory is called as what? On-premises. Is called as what, guys? What is it called as? On-premises. Am I right, guys? So now, guys, as we are an individual, still we wanted to save the data. Still we wanted to move it from the physical memory to what? Google Drive memory. In the same way, lot of the corporates, many corporates, now what they are doing is they're planning or they are moving from the physical data to what is that? Cloud data. So for that, many cloud providers has come out. Many cloud providers has come out to provide the support for it. So for that, the following are the cloud providers we have it. What is that? The first one is called as what? Azure. Azure is a cloud provider from Microsoft. So Microsoft, what it is doing is it is marketing their product, the cloud product. It is marketing its cloud product with a name called what? Azure. Okay. And then we have what is that? The next one provider as what? Amazon, or we can say AWS. AWS is from what? Yes, Amazon Web Service. Amazon Web Service. And the third one, what is that you have it? Google, GCP. So we have the GCP, which stands for what? Google Cloud Platform. Google Cloud Platform. Okay, guys, Google Cloud Platform. Then afterwards, then we have what is that? Alibaba. This is a China-based, okay, that is cloud provider. And now then we have what is that? We have the SAP Cloud. SAP Cloud. Likewise, then you have even the SAP Cloud is there, Oracle Cloud is there, etc., etc., etc. These are all the cloud providers. But whereas the market leader is the two or three, first three are the market leaders. And number one is the Azure. Number one is the Azure in providing the cloud services. So now, guys, these cloud services are basically classified or divided into three categories. These cloud services are basically classified or divided into three categories. What is that? First one is called as what? IaaS. IaaS means what, guys? IaaS stands for what? Infrastructure. Infrastructure as a service. And then you have what's that? PaaS. PaaS stands for what, guys? PaaS stands for what? Platform as a service. Then, guys, third one is SaaS. SaaS stands for what, guys? Software as a service. Software as a service. Guys, these are the three different services provided by the cloud providers. That means IaaS as a service, PaaS as a service, and CaaS as a service. These are the three categories of services provided by the cloud providers. Getting my point? So now entire cloud service is classified or built according to these categories: IaaS, PaaS, and CaaS. Infrastructure as a service means what, guys? Suppose just now we have discussed that you require 500 GB of data to be stored. That means you require what? Space on the cloud. Space on the cloud to store the 500 GB data. Am I right? So whereas this all storages, suppose you require, what is it? All the storages, how much storage you require it? 500 GB or 1000 petabyte, okay, petabyte. So all these, okay, all these, can you see here? All this is the responsibility of the that is nothing but the cloud provider, and it provides this service in the form of what? Infrastructure as a service. Now guys, you require a RAM, random access memory. You require a RAM speed of let us say 56 GB. So now guys, you need not buy an external RAM, anything. Simply you need to inform your cloud provider that this is the RAM speed you require it. So he will set it for you. So you need not worry about the physical components or the physical parts now. Getting my point? Next, after this, platform as a service. Suppose guys, suppose. What is platform, guys? What is platform? Platform is generally a type of an operating system. Now guys, we are using Android as an operating system, and can you see here? That is nothing but Apple is using some operating system. Okay, so hence these are the various operating system. Okay, these are the various operating system used by the various that is nothing but various mobiles, we can say. In the same way, if at all you have a computer, so generally in the computer, what is the operating system we use it, guys? Can you tell me what is the operating system we use it in a PC, guys? Tell me now. Generally we use the Windows as operating system. But now my question is that I have a very massive amount of data, and this massive amount of data is not supported on the Windows operating system most of the time. Let us assume banking data. Banking data is very huge, massive amount of data. So now it is not supported on the Windows operating system. Hence, we require some other operating system that is called as what? Mainframes. Mainframes is an operating system. Mainframes is an operating system from what? IBM. So you need not buy the license of this. You need not worry about the operating system. Simply you need to inform your cloud provider Azure that you require the mainframes operating system. He will take care. And now guys, suppose you require some softwares. Softwares in the sense you require some reporting softwares, or you require some analytical software, such as you require some softwares, or you require any kind of reporting. That is nothing but, suppose you require Power BI, or suppose you require some Cognos. You need not buy the license of this. Need not worry about this. Simply you need to inform your cloud provider that you require it. He is going to buy that for you. He is going to buy that for you. Everything is taken care by that is nothing but by the cloud provider in the service called what? Software as a service. So these are the three categories of services we have it. So whereas the cloud providers has divided their service based on these three, and based on these three categories only they will bill you. They are going to bill you. It is as simple as, guys, as simple as simply you log into this. You have the OTT platforms is there, Amazon Prime, Netflix, etc. What you will do, you will enter your mobile number and a password. That's it. You will enter it into the application, and once you enter into the application, if you want to watch a new movie, then you have to subscribe that particular premium subscription or not. Tell me now, guys. You need to buy a subscription or not, premium subscription, to watch a latest movie. Yes, tell me. Do we require to buy it or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, required.
So in the same way here also, whichever the service is required, in the same way, simply we need to buy it. buy it from the Azure. Buy means what? Here we are just that means utilizing it, paying it. That's it. Utilizing and paying the cost. It is just like renting off, renting off. Okay, without having an ownership, without claiming an ownership, you can do your task just by paying them. Okay, just by paying them the cost of the same. So whereas where these are the three categories of service provided by the cloud. Now guys, the cloud is clear for me and on premises is also clear for me. Everything is clear. But my question is that source, target, and this thing is done. Already this is also extraction, transformation, loading done. But my question is that what is exactly the use of the ADB, that is called as Azure Databricks? What it does? We have to understand this. So now guys, let us come back here. When it comes to the Azure Databricks, the Azure Databricks is a service of Microsoft, which is provided to perform the job of extraction, transformation, and what is that? Loading. To perform the job of extraction, transformation, and what is that? Loading. The Azure Databricks is a service of a Microsoft provided to perform the job of extraction, transformation, and what is that? Loading. Okay, guys. Now, when it comes to this Azure Databricks, exactly, let us try to understand this ETL with some example. Guys, here I have a data. So let us say here, I have some data here. So I'm using, guys, I'm using it this as a source. And now I have the source. And now, guys, in the bottom, I'll write the target. My query is that I have a data of a supermarket, and supermarket data is given like this: product ID, product rate, product quantity sold, and date of sales. Now, guys, some this you see here. Now my query is that, guys, my query is that and here is the customer. The customer is here. The customer is here. The customer wanted to know, guys, this is a customer. That customer means what? The owner of the supermarket is a customer for us. This customer wanted to know what is the change in sales, or what is the sales difference on 26th of this month and 22nd of this month, whether the sales has increased between these two dates or not. He wanted to know first of all. So guys, first of all, to know this query or to report him the same to the customer, what is that you require it? You require the source, and the source consisting of the following information. What is that? Product ID, product rate, product quantity sold, date of sales. Let us give the product ID is something like this. Product rate, let us give it as 100 rupees, and the quantity sold is 10, and then you have a date of sales. Date of sale is 21, guys, 21/11/2022. And then you have the product something like this. Okay, product ID, and the rate is 200, and the quantity sold is 05, and now the date of sales is 21/11/2022. And then I have something like this. So I have 500 02, and now guys I have 21/11/2022. Now guys, this is the thing we have it. First day, that means what? 21st data is already recorded. Do we have 22nd data? No, we will write the 22nd data. So as you wanted to write the 22nd data, simply what I will do is I'll copy this information and I'll paste it here. Okay, that's it, guys. Let us see it here how to make it. So simply copy this information and I'm pasting it the same information. But now what I will do is, instead of this, I will make it as 200. Rate is 200, and here I'll make it as rate as 300, and here I'll make the rate as 1000. That's it. Okay, just now guys, product quantity sold as it is, but I'm changing the date here. What's the date? 22, and now guys 22. Now guys, here you have it. Now tell me now, as you have this 2 days data, tell me now, the 2 days data is here or not, guys? Now to tell me, is there any difference in the sales? Is there any difference in the sales from 21st to 22nd? Can you tell me, guys?
Yes, different is there, sir. Different is there.
Difference is there. How can you say? How can you say? Just by looking into the data. Am I right or not? Just by
Yes,
looking
yes.
into the data, yeah, just by looking into the data, you can say there is a difference. Why you are able to say? Because you have only how many records are there, guys? Totally 6 records. Very simple, small data. You can look it here and decide it. Am I right or not, everyone? Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
If you have massive amount of data, can you look onto the data and decide it or not? Suppose each table having
yes.
some 1 lakh records. Can you decide it by looking into the records?
No, not possible.
Not possible. So for that, here we use the technique. What is that? ETL. Let us see how the ETL is applied here. Extraction. ETL stands for what? Extraction. 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 Let us see how the extraction is done here. The first process of extraction is that where you have to pick up. Where you have to pick up. Do we require the product ID to find out the net sales amount of the day? Do you require the product ID, guys?
Not required.
Not required. Do you require the product rate?
Yes, required.
Required.
Quantity sold?
Required.
Date of sales?
Required.
So now, guys, I'm picking up these 3 columns. Picking up these 3 columns is the process of what is that? It is the process of extraction. It is the process of what? Extraction. Now the columns are picked up. Now, guys, next comes transformation. Picking up is done. Transformation. Now in the transformation, how can you find out the net? You want to find out the net sales amount each day. So to find out the net sales amount, do we need to perform some arithmetic operations on the data or not? That means some mathematical calculations is required or not?
Yes, sir.
Hello, can anyone hear the voice?
Yes, yes.
Sir, screen is not visible.
Actually, he's left. He's left. Maybe he's facing network issue.
Okay.
Shamil is not there.
Sorry, guys, got disconnected due to some network issue. Sorry. Okay. Hello, I'm audible now?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm audible now. yeah, so got disconnected due to some this thing, network issue. Okay, so now guys, okay, we were just a minute. So just a minute. I'm just looking out for this. I don't have this host rights. Just a minute. Let me call the people to provide me the host right, because once
Because you can provide a host rights to Shami. Might be or is the host.
I'm audible, guys. Please tell me, I'm audible.
Yes.
Now, guys, see here. So we have what is that? We were discussing about the calculations. 100 into 10 is what is 1000. 200 into 5 is what? 1000. 500 into 2 what? Again, tell me now, guys. 1000. Now tell me, guys. You have one totally. Calculate the sum here. What is the sum? Can you tell me the sum, guys? The sum of these three is what? Yes, guys, the sum of these three is what? It is 3000. So I can say that. Can I say that here? Can you see? 3000 is the net sales amount. Am I right, guys? Am I right, everyone? So this you are doing it under the process of transformation. Now, it is done for the 21st day. What about the 22nd day? Guys, can you tell me? Please come out, all of you. Help me out in this. Yes, guys. Tell me now, for the 22nd day, 200 into 10 means what? 200 into 10 means what, guys? Tell me now. 2000. 300 into 5 means what, guys? Tell me now.
1500.
Yes?
1500.
Very good. 1000 into 2 means what?
2000.
Very good. So now calculate the sum now.
5500.
Very good. So now, guys, 5500. Now, guys, this is the net sales amount. Now, guys, this process is called as a transformation process. It's done now. Finally, you will be loading. Where you will be loading the data, guys? Tell me now. Finally, you will be loading the data into the target. So how will I load the data? I will load the data like this. See here. I'm loading the data. So net sales amount underscore sales underscore amount. Net sales amount is what, guys? Tell me now. Net sales amount is what? 3000. And now for which date it is? So I'm declaring one more column here. Oh yes, that is date of sales. Date of sales is, I'm using it as 21/11/2022. And then we have, what is that, guys? Tell me now. 5500, and it is on 22nd/11/2022. Now, guys, this particular thing, that is nothing but called as output. Now, can you see here? This entire thing, what you have done, guys? Can you see this entire thing? What we have done? We have transformed this much data. Can you see here? This much data of two tables I have transformed into one table and in the summarized manner. So this data you can report it to the customer, stating that this is the difference of sales between 21st and 22nd day of November 2022. Am I right, guys? Everyone? Huh? This process is called as the process of what? Extraction, transformation, and loading. And this is done by using the Azure Databricks here. By using what is that? Azure Databricks. It is done by the process called what? Using the service called what? Azure Databricks, where extraction, transformation, and loading of data is done by the Azure Databricks. Clear, all of you now? Now, as a part of this course, guys, we are going to see this Azure Databricks. Okay, Azure Databricks, and the total duration of this course will be 60 hours. Okay, 60 hours, but it will be, we are quoting it as 60, but it will go beyond the 60 hours because we have many live scenarios we are going to look into. Okay, and that's the thing we have it. And we are going to start the classes from tomorrow, the same 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay, guys, 10:15 in the morning. That's the timings we have it. 10:15 to around 11:30. Every day you will have 1 hour 15 minutes class, 1 hour to 1 hour 15 minutes class. And next, after this, guys, when it comes to this, the classes after this, even the resume planning and everything will be given to you as a support. Okay, and contents brochure, you can check it. Okay, Azure Data Factory and Azure Databricks both are used for the same process, but Azure Databricks, here you can use the it is called as CUI that is called as character user interface, where you need to use different languages: Python, Scala, R, and SQL. These are the 4 languages used in the bricks, Azure Databricks. Whereas in the Azure Data Factory, it is totally a menu driven. It is totally a menu driven. Both performs the same job. Both performs the same job, but this is a menu driven, and this is a that is nothing but the code based. You have it. Okay, so that's it about this thing. And every day we will have the class 1 hour to 1 hour 15 minutes, and Saturday, Monday to Saturday, Friday, you will have the classes. So generally Saturdays and Sundays I don't take the classes. If it is required to cover up the portion, then we will continue on Saturdays, guys. That's the only thing we have. Okay. So now you can ask me any questions if you have. Please go ahead.
Sir, like I just wanted to know, there is coding part is there in the curriculum, so we need to learn coding as well.
Yes, of course. Coding means whichever it is required, we will discuss it in the class itself. As such, separately, you need not learn the coding somewhere going outside. Okay. So what is that? I will explain you. That will be easy only, not so tough enough for people, what the people think. Okay. So we will be seeing here the coding in 4 different languages. See, there is SQL, Python, R, and Scala. I'll write the coding. Yeah.
Sir, like what is PySpark that I'm hearing a lot about?
See, PySpark is basically Python and Spark together. It is called as Spark, PySpark. PySpark.
Okay. Okay. Do we need to learn that also for ADB?
Yes, of course. I will teach you that PySpark also. I'll teach.
Okay. 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 Thanks, sir.
Okay, that's thank you. Any other questions, guys?
Sir, this is a duration, sir.
Duration will be 60 hours.
Okay. Okay.
60 hours.
Azure Data Factory.
Huh?
Is it required to learn both Azure Data Factory and Azure Databricks
It
for
basically
industries?
see guys, there is no connection between Azure Data Factory and Databricks. If you learn it, that is up to you. If you don't learn it, then also no problem. You can get the job individually on Azure Databricks as well as on the Data Factory. These are 2 different services you have it. Okay.
Sir, if there any deployment process are you explaining, sir? Deployment processing.
Yes, of course, deployment process we will see now anyways. Without the this is all a technical subject.
Yes, sir. So ADF also there, right? ADF and ADB. Okay, deployment process is required. But finally, classes over, right?
Yes, yes, yes,
Sir,
yes.
is
We
there
will
any
see that
combined
difference.
batch for both Databricks and Data Factory?
Uh,
Is there any combined batch? I mean,
See, you will have data factory batch is morning 7 a.m. started today itself along with you. And Databricks is this time. Combined batches means these are two different services. So I teach them differently.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
Combinedly we'll see a type of a project anyways. A case study you can say, not exactly the project, case study I can see. See, basically, when it comes to the data, someone is typing. So what is that? Monitor, optimize data storage, data processing. All this is covered, guys. And whatever the training we are going to look into, it is basically okay. More than enough to write a certification also. Certification for ADB whenever you want to write it. Okay, this is enough. So as a part of even the that is nothing but everyday videos will be provided to you. That's it.
sir,
Any other questions if
any
you have? You can.
any batch for the evening?
Huh?
Any batch for the evening?
Right now, no, there is no batch in the evening. So morning batches only we have it. It's there, one batch is there, but it's already started 12 to 14 days back, it has started already. Yeah, 12 classes is already done with that.
Samit sir, ADB and
Uh.
ADF both are providing Azure, right? Microsoft. What is the main difference between ADB and ADF?
Basically, the ADF, what they're using is, if there is a project in where you are going to use the ADF and ADB both, the ADF is used for data ingestion process. Up to only data ingestion process only, the ADF they're using it. Further, after the data ingestion of the data, ingestion, that means insertion of the data. Okay, once the data is inserted, the data, picking up the data from there and preparing or moving the data into Delta Lake and then performing the visualization. For all this process, we are using the ADB only.
Okay, got it.
Yes, any other questions, guys? Okay,
Sir,
that's it, guys.
any specific software we have to download for this?
No software is required. No software is required. No licenses is required. Simple, very subscription. I'll tell you. I'll show you. You have to subscribe that. That's it. No software, no piracy, nothing is there. No piracy,
Yeah,
no
but it, yeah, but it is asking some card, yeah, credit card number asking.
yeah, credit card, obviously. That is for free subscription. It will take you, it will charge some 2 rupees from a credit card. And the free subscription will be valid for 30 days. Okay. And after that, you have to go for pay as you go model. That pay as you go model will not cost you if you based on your usage only. It is just like pay as you go means it will not charge you more than 700 to 800 for an individual. So okay, because we are working on, because we are here, we are working on an type of an organization. Then even I'm taking multiple batches. Even then, I'm not getting the bill more than 2,000 rupees per month, 2,000 to 2,500. But there is a technique for saving this. That is nothing but how to save the cost and all. I will that is anyways tell you those techniques. So if you follow that, that's not a problem for you to make out. That's the thing.
Yeah, can you providing that license account in for practice purpose? Yeah, can you provide license account? Sorry, can you providing account so but for a practice purpose?
Account, you can take it. It's not me to provide you. You can take it directly. I'll show you the way how to create account, everything I'll show you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, guys, any other questions? Okay, guys, thank you. Then we'll meet tomorrow morning at the same time. Yeah, please go ahead. Any questions?
Okay, sir. Bye.
Okay. Thank you, guys. We'll meet tomorrow, 10:15. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Okay, so now let us start with this. Okay, guys, so let's start again, and just we'll begin the introduction part today. So, guys, we're using it Azure Databricks. Okay, we're using the Azure Databricks. So basically, what is Azure Databricks? The Azure Databricks is nothing but it is a cloud-based service. Cloud-based service provided by Microsoft. It is a cloud-based service, guys. It is a cloud-based service provided by Microsoft. So Azure Databricks is a cloud-based service provided by Microsoft. It is a cloud-based service provided by Microsoft to perform the job of ETL. So now, guys, what do you mean by ETL? Guys, the ETL stands for, yes, the ETL stands for, already I told you yesterday, ETL stands for what? Extraction. Yes, extraction, transformation, and loading. Extraction, transformation, and loading. Whereas this process of extraction, transformation, and loading is a process of, yes, is a process of what? Data summarization. Is a process of what? Data summarization. It is a process of what, guys? Data summarization. So extraction, transformation, and loading, this is a process of what is that? Data summarization. It is a process of what? Data summarization. Wherein for the process of ETL, that is called as extraction, transformation, and loading, guys, we require the following. What is that? We require the source. First of all, source means what? The source of data. Source, guys, source. And then we require, what is it? The another one as a target. We require the first thing as a source and the second thing as a target. So now, guys, when it comes to the source, what do you mean by source? Okay, guys, what is the source of income? The place from where we get the money is called a source of income. In the same way, a place where that is nothing but the source from where you get the data is called as what? Source of data. Source is nothing but actually it is, guys. Source is nothing but what? Actually it is. Yes, guys. Source is nothing but actually it is. Okay. Actually, it is the source of data. That is a place from where we get the data is called as what? Source of data. Okay, guys. A place from where we get the data is called as what? Source of data. So I'm using source of data. Yes, guys, source of data. So now, guys, tell me now the source of data. So according to you, what are the sources which are available from where we get the data, guys? Tell me now. What might be the sources from where you get the data? Now, guys, for example, now you're typing or you're recording some information of your expense, house expense. So where do you write your house expense generally? Nowadays, we are using in digital format only. We are not taking a pen and paper and writing the things. Everything we are digitally writing it. Tell me now, house expenses, where do you write it? In which type of file do you write it? Tell me now, guys. This much is the earning for this month, and this much is the expenditure you have incurred. You have to write all these things. So tell me now, how do you write it, guys? In which file you use it, or where you write it in the computer? Can you tell me, guys? Somebody? Guys, am I audible? Yeah, am I audible, guys? Everyone?
Yes, you're audible.
So you're understanding what I mean to tell you? Guys, you're understanding what I mean to tell you? My question is that, suppose you have to write your household expenses. Not let us go into the broad scale. We'll just go to at our place. You want to write a household expenses. Where do you write this information? That is income, expenditure. You have to write it. What type of thing you use it? Are you going to use in Excel file, guys, or not?
Yes.
So that is nothing but basically your house affairs, or your that is nothing but house expenses and income. You're going to write in an Excel sheet, but ultimately that is what? That is nothing but the data. That is nothing but what is that? Data. So we can say, what is that? Source of data is nothing but the place from where we get the data is called as what? Source of data. A place from where we get the data is called as what? Source of data. So we can get the data from what is that? Following files. We can get the data. Okay, files. What type of files, guys? Okay, but ultimately the files will also receive the data from what? Ultimately business. See, we all are working for the business or not? Even though you are working as a data engineer, that means you are working for a business or not? Tell me now, guys. Yes, everyone, you're working for the business. Am I right, everyone? Just give me a second. Just give me a second. I'll back. Okay, sorry. So guys, we all get the data. We all work for the business only. Though we are working here, suppose you're working as a data engineer in an IT sector, that means, are you working it for a business or not? In fact, that means you will get the data from the business. From the business entities only we get the data. Am I right, guys? From the business entities only we get the data. Whereas this data is recorded in the form of what is that? Files. In the form of what is that? Files. So what are the type of files you have it? Guys, what are the type of files you have it? The files are the following. So we can have, what is that? Yes, guys. We can have what are Excel files. Excel files. Excel files. And we can have, what is it? CSV files, which stands for what? Comma separated value files. Okay. Comma separated value files. And Excel files, comma separated value files. And you have, what is that? JSON files. JSON stands for what? JavaScript object notation files. Okay. And then afterwards, what is it? You have it? Excel file, CSV file, comma separated value files, JSON files, and you have the Parquet files. Parquet files. You have the Parquet files. Okay, guys. You have the Parquet files, and then you can have what? Avro files. And then we can also have what's that ORC files, various type of files. That means we get the data ultimately from the business, and this business will be recorded in the type in the form of what? Files. Excel files, comma separated value files, JSON files, Parquet file, Avro files, ORC files. Anyways, you don't worry about the files. Once we get into the subject, I will explain you about each and every file. You don't worry now. Okay. So this is nothing but the data we get it. From where? From these files, what we do from these files, guys. From these files, we get the data. From these files, guys. From these files, okay. From these files, we get the data. So ultimately, what we do, we pull in the data. We pull in the data by using the process called what? Extraction. We pull in the data by the process called what? Extraction. So extraction is done. And now, guys, this extraction is done by what? By using the ADB. That is called as what? Azure Databricks. By using the Azure Databricks. By using the Azure Databricks, guys, by using the Azure Databricks, we perform the process of extraction. That means extraction of data. Extraction, the full name is what? Extraction of data only, guys. Extraction of data. Extraction. Then extraction is done. Then next, what is the process you have it? Tell me now, guys. The next process, the next level of processing is what is that? Transformation. So transformation is nothing but the ultimate requirement. Based on the requirement of the customer, you're going to change the format of the data. You're going to change the structure of the data. You're going to design a new structure of the data. Am I right? This is called as what? Transformation. And once the transformation is done on this data, ultimately the process of loading will be taken place. And loading means what? The final data, whatever you have it, will be transferred to the destination. That is called as what? Target. That is called as what? Target. Or we can say destination. We can say target, or we can say destination. We can say target, or we can say what is that? Destination. The data will be transferred to the destination. Am I right, guys? Everyone? Yes, guys, everyone is following or not? I want a reply, guys. If you don't talk, yeah, if you don't talk, I cannot understand what is your thing. Okay, so I want everyone to respond it, guys, so that I'll come to know whether you people are following or not. Okay, anyways, so this is the first. Now, apart from, guys, apart from getting the data from the files, we can also get the data from the business. We can also get the data from the business in the form of what? Database. And database can be what again? The database can be what? It can be Oracle database. It can be the SQL Server database. Okay, it can be any type of database you have. Whereas this kind of database, can you see here? This kind of database, when you receive the data, we can say that we have received the data from OLTP system. We have received the data from what is that? OLTP system. What do you mean OLTP? OLTP stands for online transaction process. Online transaction process. That is called as what? OLTP system. Okay, OLTP system. You will receive the data. Getting my point? You will receive the data from what? OLTP system. So now, guys, ultimately from this database, what we do, we pull in again the same process. We pull in the data by using the process of what, guys? Same process we perform it. Extraction will be done. That means using the ADB, we extract the data. We extract the data. And once the data is extracted, then what we do, guys? We perform the transformation on the data. We perform what is that? Transformation. Transformation is the actual process of data summarization or loading the data as per the requirement of the client. So now, guys, loading will be done. And finally, once the loading is done, guys, once the loading is done, the loading will be done. Okay, the loading will be done into the destination. That means this is the destination. This will be a destination. Getting my point? Now guys, destination. Destination. I'm linking up just to show you guys, these all will reach the destination like this. Finally, the data reaches the destination. Target is nothing but guys, it is called as what? Destination. Destination. Okay, now next one. Apart from this, guys, apart from getting the data from the businesses from the data into the databases or into the files, we can also get the data. Everyone, we can also get the data, guys. We can also get the data from another way. It's called as what? From the business only. Because we all working for business, we get the data, business data only. So we get the data in the form of what? Live streaming data. Live streaming data. Such as, guys, live streaming data means what? Guys, stock market data, live streaming data. Suppose that is India versus Pakistan match is going on. You will get the live streaming. Am I right or not? Yes, guys. That is all called as what? Live streaming data. Even the live streaming data we pull in here as it is, the live streaming data. And once the extraction is done, then what happens? Again, the process of transformation will become. So what is the process of transformation? Transformation is the actual process of, yes, guys, transformation is the actual process of what? Data summarization. Transformation is the actual process of what? Data summarization. And once the data summarization is done, guys, finally what we do? We load the data into the target. We load the data into the target, guys. Okay. So now this all data, whatever you have it, that is source data, destination data, or whatever the data you have it, finally will be recorded into the target. That is called as sync system. In Azure, it is also called as what? The destination is also called as what? Sync system. Sync. This is also called as what? Sync system, guys. Okay. It is also called as what? Sync system. Sync system. Okay. So now can you see here? This is how we get the data here. Ultimately, we get the data from what? Various sources. Ultimately, we get the data from what? Various sources. And from these various sources, what we do? We extract the data, we transform the data into the target. Everyone. Okay. So this, all this can see extraction, transformation, and loading will be done by using the service, guys. This is a service. ADB is one service. ADB is one service, guys. Likewise, you can also have, what is it? ADF is the another service. Likewise, you can have Synapse as the another service. These are the various services. We can do it. Okay. Whereas, can you see here, guys? This is how exactly things works off. Okay. Here, everyone is following or not, guys? Yeah, I want a reply from all of you guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now, next after this, now guys, next one, let us see exactly what exactly the big data is. Big data. So now, guys, what is a big data? Big data is nothing but whatever the data you're getting, this data, this is called as big data only. The data from the business, whatever you're getting, that is called as big data. So just understand, big data means not a very great concept, something, you know, where you need to get confused. It's not like that. Big data, just split it, guys. Split it. Big means what? Huge, na? Huge or massive, you can say. Data means what? Information. So we can say that huge information. You can say, what is that? Huge information, massive information, huge information. What is what? Big data. Ultimately, we get the big data from, what is it? All these businesses only. But what is that business? What are the sources you can see? Let us see for that. Actually, types of source of big data. Now, guys, types of sources of big data. Types of sources of, okay, types of sources of big data. Okay, sources of big data. The first one from where you can get the big data, that is called as what? Social networking sites. Social networking sites. So what is the social networking sites, guys? Social networking sites are nothing but you have the WhatsApp, you have the Facebook, you have the Twitter, WhatsApp, Facebook. Okay, guys, WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter. Then you also have what's that? LinkedIn. Then afterwards, you also have what's that? Instagram. All this Insta and all these are what? These are all called as what? Social networking sites. These are called as what? Social networking sites. So the social networking sites are basically referred as the major source of getting the big data. Major source of getting the big data. Getting my point? Next one after this, guys, you have the second source. So what is the second source? We can say second source as the banking application. So across the globe, the banking application is the major source, considered as the major source, guys. Banking applications are considered as the major source of getting the big data. The banking applications are considered as the major source of getting the big data. Major source of getting what's that? Big data. Major source of getting the big data. Suppose you go to a bank and get an entry done. So in your passbook, you have made some entries. That is some cash withdrawal entry and some deposit entry and some online transfer entry, some purchase entries, some entries you have made it. Okay, that means some transactions you have done it. So, but can you see here in this passbook, as you have made only 3 transactions, but it will give you some 7 to 8 lines code. Am I right? 7 to 8 lines it will print balance, it will print deduction after the debit balance. So that means data is considered as a massive or huge amount of data across the globe. Getting my point? So we can get the data, the big data. We can also get it from what? Banking applications. That means this we have discussed as a business now. Business means what? It can be social networking site, which is a one type of business. Banking application is the another type of business from where we get the data. Okay, then we can also get the data from what is that? Machine generated data. Machine generated data. So what do you mean machine generated data, guys? The data which is generated by a machine. Suppose you have a CT scan machine. Suppose you have a CT scan machine. Okay, so it scans of the human body, whereas the CT scan machine or MRI machine, okay, MRI scan or CT scan machine, whatever the machines you have it, okay, and then we have what's it? MRI, okay, scan, or else we can also have what is that? CT scan, MRI scan, and even the ECG machines. Okay, these are all the machines which generate some data. Am I right, guys? These are the machines which generate some data. Am I right, everyone? These are the machines which generates some data, whereas even these machines, can you see here, generate some data. So this kind of data is also considered as the big data. That means a massive amount. The CT scan machine generates a very massive amount of data. So that is nothing but called as what? Machine generated data. Any that is machine which generates the data is called as what? Machine generated data. That's it. Okay. Then afterwards, guys, just a minute, 1 minute. Okay, guys, sorry. So now, guys, okay. So now, guys, after this, okay. So now, can you see here? This is nothing but the can you see here some that is machine generated data. After that, the fourth one, what we can consider here is okay. That is called as what? IoT sensors, Internet of Things. Okay, IoT sensors. We get the data from what? Sensors. We get the data from what? Sensors. These sensors basically measures what is that? Pressure. Okay, and then it measures the okay that is even the okay gas pressure. Okay, and then it measures even the temperature. Okay, and even the okay wind. All these are the sensors which basically measures. But these sensors, how it generates, these all will be connected to computers, to required computers. So this computer generates the data here. The data will be recorded here, and this data will be further processed or transferred to us like this. From in the files we received, we extract it, we transform it, and we load it. Ultimately it will go like this. Okay, so now, guys, so basically IoT sensors, I can give you one example. Guys, whenever you travel and okay like on the highways, once you will enter a basically a type of a town or a village. At the starting of this town or a village, you will find some a very big table fans which is rotating very slowly. Am I right? Which rotates very slowly. What it does exactly? That measures the wind, and those fans are nothing but a machines at sensors only, and those are connected to the computers. And whatever the thing is recorded, the data will be transferred to the computer, and from the computer again the data will be that is kept into the files, and again it is transformed further for this analysis. So basically this is how exactly the process moves on here. Okay, so guys, okay, all of you following or not, please let me know, guys.
Yeah, we can able to
Yes, sir.
follow.
Now, next, after this, again, you have what is that? Guys, the fifth one is human generated data. Human generated data, it's not basically you will have that massive, but still it can be considered as a big data only. Human generated data means the data which is generated by you and me. Okay, the normal routine data, that is basically a kind of a human generated data. So this is also considered as the part of big data. But guys, this big data this big data is basically has some categories. That means we can say types of big data. We can have various types of big data. So now I will say types of data. Now, guys, what are the types of big data? Generally, guys, you will have the following types of big data. The first type of big data which you can consider, okay, which you can consider that is first type of big data which you can consider. Okay, the first type of big data which you can consider, the first type of big data which you can consider is called as what? Structured data. Structured data means what? I'll type it. Guys, I'm writing it: name, ID number, and salary. Can you see this is the thing we have it? Name is, let us say, Alan. And now, guys, I'm using the ID number as something like this, and salary I'm making a okay, 10,000. And Bobby, 20,000. Carl, 30,000. These are the basically. Can you see here, guys? This is the data. Where can you see this data is in which format? It is in the proper format of rows and columns or not? These are the rows and these are the columns. Am I right, guys? Everyone? Yeah. These are the rows and these are the columns. This kind of data is proper data. Hence, it is called as what? Structured data. This kind of data is called as what, guys? structured data, the data which is placed into the proper form of rows and columns. The data which is placed in the proper form of rows and columns is called as what? Structured data. Am I right, everyone? Yes, am I audible, guys? Yeah, what happened? Am I audible to everyone or not?
Yes.
So now, guys, this is nothing called as what? Structured data. Next one is, what is it? You have it. The second one is semi-structured data. Semi-structured data means what? This data is purely not structured as well as not unstructured. It is semi-structured. You will have some semi-structured, such as you have the data into what's that? JSON files. For example, I'll give you the JSON file, how the JSON file looks like and how the data will move. The data in the JSON file will be given in the curly braces. Now, if at all I'm writing the first, I'm defining this data into JSON format, how the data will be. Let us see it here. Name under the quotes, double quotes, and use the colon, ALN. Now, guys, use a comma. After this, use it again. ID. ID. Then use it as it's a numeric data. Now you can place it normally. Again, we have what is that, guys? Under this, again you have what is that? Car. That is salary. This is also numeric data, so hence you can leave it as it is. Do not place under this. And finally, after this is done, the data is closed, the braces. Can you see this kind of data is called as what? Semi-structured data. It is called as what, guys? Yeah, it is called as what, guys? Semi-structured data. This kind of data is called as what? Semi-structured data. And now finally, the third one is called as what? Unstructured data. Unstructured data is nothing but guys, this unstructured data is nothing but basically there will be no particular structure, such as the photos in your mobile phone, the videos, the chat history, and the voice notes. All these comes under the unstructured data only. There is no proper structure for it. Okay, there will be no proper structure, guys. There will be no proper structure. There will be no proper structure. Okay, there will be no proper structure. All the that is data is called as what? Unstructured. 80% of the globe, 80% of the data from the globe, we'll get it in what? Unstructured format only. 80% of the data across the globe, we'll get it in what? Unstructured format only. So guys, these are the types of big data we can have: structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. And this structured, semi-structured, and unstructured can be placed onto what is that? Into this type of files, or into this databases, or we can extract it from the live streaming. Further, the as it is process. So this is how the entire structure works. So is everyone clear with this, guys, or you have any doubt? You can ask me now. Yes, guys, tell me. Guys, tell me now.
No, Samir, no doubts as of now.
Okay. So this is how the things works off. Okay, guys. That's it. So for the day, guys, that's it for the day. And
so with Azure Databricks, what kind of data we usually handles, like structured or non-structured?
Unstructured only.
Unstructured only. Okay.
Unstructured, semi-structured, and structure. 3 of them will handle it basically. Not mostly you will have semi-structured data.
Okay, thank you.
That's it, guys. So this is the thing we have it. Please go ahead now.
So to learn Databricks, do we need any predefined technical background? Hello,
Do you?
am I audible?
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. No, I'm just asking, what are the prerequisites to learn this Azure database?
See,
I don't have any
basically,
background in the field.
yeah, prerequisites is that if you know the Python, or if you know the R, or if you know the SQL, that is very well. You can just, you can just understand the code, what you can do. If not, also I will explain you, and you have to put your efforts much on that, because this is basically a purely type of a technical job where you have it. What we are doing in Databricks. If you don't want the amount of coding, you don't need actually the coding. Simply you can go with the ADF rather than going with the ADB.
Okay, so I'm basically ETL background. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you suggest? Should I go for ADF or ADB? I'm not really sure. And I would like to
You're basically you're from technical background or non-technical, or
I am basically an ETL developer, Informatica developer.
then you can go with the ADB. Why not? Definitely ADB.
Okay. And to be Azure data engineer, what are the services we need to know? Like
For to be an Azure data engineer, if you know ADF, then also you'll call as a Azure data engineer. If you know ADB, then also it is called as then also you are called as a Azure data engineer. If you know the Synapse, then also you will call as a Azure data engineer only.
Okay, so either one also should be fine, that means, right?
Yeah,
no,
that's
I heard the reason I'm asking, I heard ADF also like something like it's an ETL tool only, and here you have mentioned ADB also ETL tool only, right?
See, if you have what is the companies are doing till the job of data ingestion in a project. I'm telling you the live scenario what is going on right now in most of the projects. Up to the data ingestion, ingestion means what? Extraction. Up to this data extraction, they're using the ADF. Further, for transformation and loading, they're using the ADB. Some projects.
Okay.
Because you have more good facilitation, or we can say good facilities, or very flexible to perform the process of data ingestion using this that is ADF, because ADF does not uses any code. It is basically a menu driven this thing. But here you will have to write the code for everything: extraction again, transformation, and again loading again. Basically, using this ADB, you can design. It is mainly focused on the visualization, data visualization. That means visualization in the sense performing the analysis on the data, etc.
Okay. So my understanding is like ADF might be something like a tool based, like ETL.
You can go with this ADF or ADB, anything, because already you have a technical background. You need not worry about it.
Okay. And both are not, if I would like to join any training, both are not.
Both means it will be very good. No issues.
Okay. I'm trying to join any one of these. So what do you suggest? Should I start with ADF or ADB? Like being an ETL.
That you have to decide it. I can't tell, because basically I'm telling you now, if you are mainly, you think that you can manage the amount of coding, then you can go with the ADB. If you don't want the coding, because ADB is required anyways in the process. One time in one situation, you can do the job without ADF also, but ADB is very mandatory to have it mostly. So just how it's better to have ADB knowledge. You can just decide it. That's not a problem. Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
That's it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Any other questions?
Sir, may I know what is Synapse used for?
Synapse is totally a visualization process. It is basically called as a data warehouse of Azure. Synapse. Okay. So data visualization, analysis. I told you, analysis, data visualization, all analysis from this part. Once the data is loaded into that sync system, from here the data is picked up. And now we use a technique called OLAP, online analytical process. And using this artificial intelligence or machine learnings, all this we apply it further on this data. Whereas can you see here the machine learning, artificial intelligence, or machine learning or artificial intelligence, all this is the part of what is that we have it. The Synapse performs this job, this type of job, more focusing on the visualization of the data.
So, sir, like I just wanted to know, ADF and ADB are enough to crack a job in the current market scenario?
More than enough, more than enough. Synapse, see, in this particular course, we are covering Synapse. We are covering integration with even the Snowflake I'm covering. Integration with even, the Amazon Web Services. Integration with all various, things I'm using up here. So anyways, you will not have anything where, you need not do that. So you can do it very well. That's not a problem.
Okay, so sir, ADF and ADB are enough, right?
Yeah, there's more than ADF is enough. ADB individually is also enough. ADF and ADB combination, okay, if you have that, it's very good. If not, it's not like that. If you know ADF, you don't get a job. Definitely you will get the job, even if you know the ADF or not, or the ADB, that's not a thing. There is a misconception in the market that, if you know the ADF, you should also know this ADB, then only you'll get a job. It's not like that. These are two different services you have it. ADF has its own functionality and ADB has its own functionality.
Okay. The only thing is just the market is a bit low, so worried, that's all.
Market is obviously in this November and December, the market will be low.
Okay.
Always, again, it will pick up after January 15th.
Okay.
That
Thank you, sir.
is the every year, issue you will have it in the IT sector.
Okay.
Whether you go with the training or whether you go for real-time jobs searching, everything. But the slang will be like that. See, every batch I'll be having 50 to 60 students. But this November and December, I have a less amount of students. That
Okay.
obvious. That it does not mean that the market is drawn out. Of course, the flow will move. It will slow down automatically. It will pick up, because right now most of the times, even in the US, this is the ending of the year, so everyone will be prepared for Easter and everything, Christmas.
Okay.
So things will slow down because we are totally dependent on the all the US and the UK and Europe, and we're all the Western countries we're depending upon for the data, for project, everything. So obviously it will have an impact even on our life, isn't it or not?
Yeah, correct.
That's the thing.
Okay, sir.
Okay, that's it. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, am I audible,
Yes,
guys?
sir. Yes, sir. Good morning.
Okay, so let us start now. So Azure Databricks. Okay, guys, Azure Databricks. Guys, when it comes to this Azure Databricks, okay. So as already you know that, what is Azure Databricks? Azure Databricks is Azure Databricks is a service. It is a service, guys, everyone. Azure Databricks is a service which is used to perform the job of, guys, what is that? Azure Databricks is a service, okay. Azure Databricks is a service which is used to perform. Azure Databricks is a service which is used to perform the job of what? ETL, that is extraction, transformation, and what is that? Loading. Extraction, transformation, and loading. Okay. Between what is that? Clouds. Between the clouds and on-premises. Clouds and what is it? On-premises. Between the clouds and what is that? On-premises. Okay, guys. So now between the clouds and on-premises. So here, okay, guys. So when it comes to this ETL, so now, guys, ETL is what basically? It is a service provided. Can you say Azure Databricks is a service provided by Microsoft, and to perform the job of ETL between the clouds and what is that? On-premises. Between the clouds and what is that? On-premises. So now, guys, let us try to see this. Okay. So what is basically an ETL? So ETL, as we know that, it stands for what? Extraction. It stands for what? Extraction, transformation. Extraction, transformation, and what's that? Loading. Extraction, transformation, and what is that? Loading. Extraction, transformation, and loading. Now guys, when it comes to this extraction, transformation and loading, this is a process. This is a process, all of you. This is a process of, is what is that? Data summarization. This is a process of what, guys? Data summarization. This is the process of what? Data summarization. This is the process of what? Data summarization. Okay. It is a process of what? Data summarization. It's a process of what, guys? Data summarization. It is the process of what? Data summarization, wherein you have, what is that? Source. You have, what is it? Source data. Source, what is the data storage? What's that? You have it? Source data storage. So now guys, source data storage or source is a place where actually we can find the data, and from the source ultimately we pass on the data to, what is that, guys? Target. Target. We pass on the data to, what is that, guys? Target. We pass on the data to what? Target. We pass on the data to, what is it? Target. So can you see here we have, what is it? Source. Source means what? A place where we can find actual data. The place where we can find, what is that, guys? Actual data. All of you following, please? Yes, guys. Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So now, so we have, what's it? Source. And source is nothing but what? A place where you can find the data. So now, in the source, we can get the data in the type of what? Files. Or else we can get the data in the form of, what is it? Databases. Or else we can get the data in the form of, what is it? Live stream. We can also get the data from what? Live streaming data. Live streaming data. Okay. We can get the data from what? Files. We can get the data from, what is that? Files. We can get the data from what? Files. We can get the data from what? Databases. Else we can get the data from, what is that? Live streaming data. Anyways, guys, so these files, can you see here, are of what? We can have the CSV files. We can have, what is that? JSON files. We can have what? A CSV file, JSON file, and then we have, what is that? Excel files, etc. Can see here, these are the various type of files you have it. These are the various type of files you have it, guys. What is that? These are the various type of files we have it. Okay, what is that? We have the, these are the various type of files we have it. Okay, guys, so these are the various type of files you have it. So what we do is, ultimately we pull in the data, into this ADB, that is called as Azure Databricks. This is called as what, guys? This is called as what? The process of data ingestion. It is called as what? The process of what? Data ingestion. Okay, so then once we pull in the data, what we do? We perform the process of, so pulling in the data is a process of what? Extraction. Extraction. And once the extraction is done, guys, and once the extraction is done, then you will have, what is it? Transformation. Then you will have what? Transformation. Transformation is what? Transformation is the process of, actual process of data summarization. And once the transformation is done, finally what we do, guys? Finally what we do? We perform the loading. We perform, what is that? Loading. So now the all together, loading where? Loading the data into the, yes guys, loading data into, what is it? Target. That is called as destination. Destination or target. Getting my point? So this is how we can make out using this. Or in the same process, even if you have, can you see the data access to be accessed from the database? So what we do, we using this ADB, that is Azure Databricks, we pull in the data, and now again the same process, that is called as Again, then you have what is it? T. What did you have it? T stands for transformation. Again, finally, we put the data into what is that? Loading. Okay, what is it? Loading is a final process. And loading the data into what is that? Destination. So destination is what? Destination is the actual target. Destination. Guys, destination is nothing but the actual target you have it. Getting my point, all of you? So these are the, and now even from the live streaming, if at all you want to pull in the data the same way, what is it you have it? We use the ADB. We use the ADB, okay, Azure Databricks. And then what we do? We use the, again, what is it? Extraction. And then we perform what is that? Transformation, guys. What is that? Transformation. And then finally we use what is that? Loading. We perform the loading. And now, guys, this loading will be done ultimately into what is that? Destination. What is that? Destination. Getting my point? This is how the entire process works on. Okay, extraction, transformation, and finally loading the data into this. Now, guys, even we have discussed it in the last class, but just I wanted to brush it up before we move ahead. Guys, use what is that? Let us see first of all what is a big data. Guys, you already know what is big data now. Yes, guys, what is big data? Big data is nothing but, what do you mean by big data, guys? Huge data. What is that? Big data is nothing but what? Huge data or huge information. Huge information is called as what? Big data. What is that? Huge information is called as what? Big data. Guys, huge information is called as what? Big data. So now, guys, big data. So what are the sources of getting the big data? Can you just tell me, guys, from where you can get it? Yes, any idea? Yes, guys, I'm audible.
Maybe event hubs, storage account.
Okay, anyways, anyways, guys, we get the big data from various sources. So such as what? Social networking sites. Social networking sites. Okay, guys, we get the data from what? Social networking sites. That is big data. Such as, what do you mean by social networking sites? WhatsApp, Facebook. Okay, Facebook, WhatsApp. Then you have Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter. Then you have Insta, etc. These are all the These are all the social networking sites from where we get the data. So, guys, data. So basically, what you can say, this is a business now. This is a business, and from the business we get the data. And data, what we do? Data, we put it in the form of what? Files or whatever the type you have it. And these files, we get it into ADB, that is Azure Databricks. And from here, we get the data into Azure Databricks, perform the job of what? Extraction. And then we do what? Transformation. And then we do what? Loading. And loading into what is that, guys? Finally, destination. Loading into what? Destination. Destination. Getting my point? Loading the data into what is that? Destination. Okay. Loading the data into what is that? Destination. Finally, the data will be loaded into what? Destination. Okay, guys, everyone. Yes, am I audible to everyone or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys, that's it. So now, next, apart from this, we can also get the data. Yes, we can also get the data from what? Social networking sites. We can also get the data from what? Banking applications. We can also get the data from what? Banking applications. So what in the banking applications, we can get the data. And from here, what we do? We pull in the data. And now, this time, whenever you have a banking applications, the data will be loaded, or data will be stored in the form of what? Databases only, guys. From the databases, what we do? we pull in the data, guys. We pull in the data again. The same process. What is that? Using the ADB Azure Databricks, we perform the job of what? Extraction, transformation, and loading. And now finally, once we load it, guys, finally once we load it, ultimately it will be sent towards destination. Now, likewise, you can also get the data from what is it? Human generated data. That means human generated data is very rare. Okay, human generated means the data which is generated by you and me. Okay, human generated data. And apart from this, we can also have, okay, same process. Human generated data will be again accessed into the ADB. And from the using the ADB, we perform the job of what? Extraction, transformation, and what's it? Loading. And ultimately, finally we load the data towards a destination. Finally, we load the data towards a destination. This is the destination you load it. Okay, guys. So yeah, what is that? Human generated data. What is it? Social networking sites.